Selenium for Beginners with Rex Jones II. Closed captioning is available for you. Switch CC on or off.
Hello everybody and welcome to Selenium for Beginners. In this video, I will cover number 5 switch methods for Selenium. The transcript, presentation, and code will be available on GitHub at Rex Jones II, Selenium for Beginners, and tinyurl.com, Selenium switch methods. Switch methods are the last group of Selenium method categories. We already covered browser methods, WebElement methods, navigation methods, and wait methods. These switch methods are a group of methods that switch to alerts, windows, and frames. Selenium will not allow us to directly interact with a web element inside an alert, window, or frame unless we execute a switch statement. We are going to discuss the type of elements that require switching, Selenium methods used for switching, then demo the Selenium switch methods. Let's start with the type of elements that require switching. First, we have frames, then alerts, and the last is windows. A frame is a tag within a frame set tag. The frame defines one window within a frame set. Let me show you by using W3 Schools. Do you see the 3 frame tags that's located inside the frame set tag? When I click try it for yourself, we see 3 frames on the right side. Frame A, frame B, and frame C. On the left side, we see the same 3 frame tags within a frame set tag. Watch what happens when I change the value for SRC within a frame tag. I am going to change frame B to W3 Schools, then click Run. A W3Schools.com window shows up within frame B after entering the URL. Also, look what happens after clicking the frame. An option named View Frame Source shows up. Frame A and frame C shows the same option, View Frame Source. However, we do not see View Frame Source when right-clicking outside of frames A, B, and C. Our demo will focus on iframe, which is very similar to what we saw with frames. iframe is short for inline frame, which is used to embed documents within a document. Try it yourself. The iframe tag uses an SRC attribute just like the frame tag. iframe also has an option named View Frame Source when I right-click. However, there is a difference between frame and iframe. An iframe is not located within a frame set tag, and the window for an iframe cannot be resized. When I hover over the window, the icon for resizing does not show up. Let's go to frames and notice we can resize the window. Most applications I come across have an iframe tag because they are designed for interactive applications. Iframes is a better option for adding other websites within a window. One reason an iframe is better is because developers can keep track of less HTML documents while using iframes. With automation, whether we come across an iframe or frame, we must always switch before performing an action. Here's an example. The frame is the blue login to application box. We must switch to the frame before entering data in the username and password fields. Also, before clicking the submit button. Most of the times, it's difficult to notice a frame by looking at the web page. An exception shows up if we do not switch to the frame. The next element that requires switching is alerts. Alerts are better known as pop-up boxes. It's a box that contains a message. In this example, the alert has two buttons, an OK and cancel button. We also see a title that states pop-up alert box with some pretend data between the title and two buttons. There are three types of alerts with the purpose to, number one, send information. Number two, get confirmation. And number three, receive inputs from a user. We are forced to switch and interact with the alert when it pops up. We are not able to interact with the web page. That's why the web page is gray and disabled. The last element required for switching is windows. It can be a new window or tab. This example shows a new window on top of the web page. We see a title that states, switch to this new window, then perform an action. All windows have an ID called a window handle. A window handle is unique and alphanumeric that allows us to switch to the window. We can perform any action after switching to the window. There are different Selenium methods used for switching. Here's the methods used for switching to a frame. Frame WebElement element selects a frame by WebElement. WebElement is the data type, and element is the frame element we will switch to. Frame string name or ID selects a frame by its name or ID. String is the data type. Name and ID are the HTML attributes. We can switch by the name of the frame or ID of the frame. Frame int index selects a frame by its index. Int is the integer data type. All indexes start at 0. Default content select the first frame on the page or the main document if the page contains an iframe. Parent frame is important if the focus has changed from the parent context. By default, Selenium has focus set on the parent. Next is the methods for alert. Imagine a pop-up that has two buttons like one of our previous slides. The accept method accepts the alert by clicking the OK button, and the dismiss method clicks the cancel button. If you want to get information from the pop-up, use the get text method, while the send keys method types data into the pop-up box. Last, we have three methods for switching to a window. The alphanumeric window handle is assigned to each window. The get window handle method gets the window handle of the current window, and get window handles gets the window handle of all the current windows. The switch to window method switches focus between the windows. Now, let's dive into our demo of Selenium switch methods.
Online courses coming soon. Books available in paperback, ebook, and PDF. All Part 1 ebooks and PDF documents are free. Programming books for UFT. Programming books for Java. Here's the Selenium automation book. And TestNG. Subscribe to get notification of future videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.